Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Jeremy from Randolph Running Club, and today we're back again for another video. This is Into the Marathon episode 2. We are talking about building your speed, increasing your speed with your marathon training. Right after this.
Ransom got that sauce in it. One more time. One more time. Ransom got that sauce in it. One more time. One more time. Ransom got that sauce in it. One more time. Ransom got that sauce in it. One more time.
Alright, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me again today for another video. Thanks for making it through that intro. That was just a run that I took earlier this morning, making up my Sunday long run. I really wasn't feeling well, so I ended up having to push that into Monday, which I typically don't recommend. But seeing as today was going to be an off day for me, and this week is kind of a light week, I felt like it was something that I could do. So that was an hour and a half run. Long run, nice easy pace, nice and flowing, just getting the legs moving and kind of building that base for adding additional mileage as time goes on. And ultimately the pace ended up being 10 miles at an 8:59 minute per mile pace. So nice and easy run, easy range running, and it felt really good. Just happy to be out there, even though I did end up getting caught in a little bit of a thunderstorm, which very rarely happens, but this is South Florida, this is hurricane season, anything's possible. So this past week of running and training consisted of first an easy / recovery run for about 45 minutes at just, nice easy zone 2 heart rate pace. Then an interval run. I took a day off, had an easy run, another recovery run, and this one was a little bit shorter, I think about 30 minutes. And then finally, another interval run. So 2 speed days this past week. And finally, what you just saw was the long run. So building up the base in addition to the speed. And the long run, of course, was easy miles. So trying to definitely follow that rule of the 80-20 rule where, 80% of your running is done easy and 20% of it is done really intense, hard, building speed, building muscle strength, foot strength, all these different things, foot speed, cadence. So, feeling really good. I think that this was a very productive week of training, inspiring. It wasn't too high of miles. It ended up being about 30 miles of running. And hopefully, just going to be able to continue carrying that and just building and building and building. I think we're probably going to peak around 50 miles before we taper before the marathon. But that's neither here nor there. We got a long ways to go before we get to that point in October. So what I wanted to talk about was how this week we had a much bigger emphasis on actually building speed and just going faster. That first week was really almost all easy runs. I had one interval day there, and I kind of wanted to walk you guys through that and exactly what these interval runs are trying to accomplish. So I'm actually going to pull up this information up on the screen, and I'm going through it on my phone right now. So this was my Saturday morning run. I'm sorry, there's like a plane or a helicopter or something taking off and it's making a ton of noise. Very unexpected. Maybe I won't sit outside for these next videos. But anywho, this was an interval run that I ran on Saturday morning. It was a run, once again, in the rain, but this time planned. And, it was hopping into these intervals here, it was 10 minutes of just easy zone 2 or lower heart rate pace, which what that is for me is keeping my heartbeats per minute between about 116 beats per minute and 134 for 10 minutes, and then from there going moderate to hard pace for 5 minutes, taking a 2-minute slow jog recovery in between, and then going back to another 5-minute moderate to hard pace, and kind of alternating that 4 times, and then finally finishing with a 10-minute slow jog cool down in zone 2 heart rate. So, you know, looking at this video here that I'm showing you guys, you can see that first mile or first 10 minutes was at about a 9:14 pace roughly. I mean, the last 46 seconds were a little bit quicker than that, but you get the idea. It was around a little bit over 9 minutes per mile. But then immediately you see in the third portion here where I'm touching at that 5-minute run, we ended up going about a 7:34 pace. So for me, I would consider that definitely a pretty moderate pace. My 5K personal best right now, maybe I should do another time trial. I could probably go a little bit quicker, but my current 5K personal best is right at 7 minutes per mile for that 3.1 miles. So your kind of hard pace or your threshold pace should really be about 30 seconds slower than that. And when I say threshold, what I'm saying is basically the point where your body is creating that lactic acid, and it's creating it faster than you can get rid of it. So essentially this is a pace that's kind of hard for you to run. It's not really sustainable. You're not really going to be able to continue that for 10 miles, 15 miles or whatever, but it's something you might be able to hold for 3 or 4 miles. And essentially by using this interval training and getting those spurts of that lactic threshold running in, you're essentially training your legs to be able to endure that without having to immerse yourself in it. So, you know, I took the 5 minutes, ran 0.66 miles at a 7:34 pace, and then I had 2 minutes of recovery, active recovery, where I ran at a 9:27 pace, you know, really kind of getting that acid out of my legs, getting my legs feeling strong and smooth again, and then right back on it after that, 5 minutes at 7:40 pace, 0.65 miles, alternating back to 2 minutes of very, very slow running, you know, and you can kind of see that here as we scroll down. I'm on the Garmin app right now, the Garmin Connect app, if you have any questions about that. But essentially, yeah, you know, just alternating. You can see as I keep doing it down here, you know, another 7:47, then 8:50 slow run. The 8:32 run, I actually took a wrong turn. You should really plan your routes ahead of time, and I thought I had planned it well, but I didn't realize that the turn was taking me into a gated community that I couldn't enter. So I think the GPS had a hard time kind of relocating me as I returned out of that section. But you know, yeah, so using this type of training is very beneficial. It's something that can really take you to that next level and just help you to build your speed and really you know, just get faster, get stronger as time progresses. And as my training continues, you know, this week, instead of doing 4 sets of those intervals, I'll be introducing 5, where I do 5 minutes and then a minute and a half of recovery. And sorry, there goes another plane. Whew. All right, definitely not doing another one of these outside. But anywho, yeah, you know, I'll be increasing the amount of intervals to 5 sets instead of 4. And then from there, you know, we're increasing the interval time. So I think in 2 weeks' time, instead of 5-minute intervals, I'll start having 10-minute intervals with a minute and 30 seconds of recovery. And as you can see, you know, you're kind of building up your tolerance to the lactic acid threshold. And ideally, maybe you don't build a ton more speed, but you build your resistance to fatigue at those speeds so that you're more comfortable maintaining that pace for a longer time. And you know, my target marathon pace is probably around like 8 minutes per mile for October. So this ideally is even faster than that and should make my 8-minute per mile pace a lot more comfortable for me to run for a long period of time, so that when October comes and I need to run that 26.2, it should be a walk in the park for me to run at my sustained 8-minute per mile pace. So that's kind of the gist of training here for this week. I have another update for you guys next week. And beyond that, look out for some shoe reviews. I've been using the Asics Gel Excite 7s, I believe, yes, as my daily trainer, and then the Nike Epic React Flyknit 2s that I reviewed before. Those are kind of my speed work interval slash, just more up-tempo shoes right now. I probably will be getting another pair of shoes soon to add to the rotation and review, but just watch out for those reviews coming in the next couple days. But yeah, that's all I have. If you enjoyed this video, please go on ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and all right, there's our dog. And I will be back to see you guys again in the next one, hopefully. Stay safe, inspire others, and stay blessed.